That waitress sized us up in 2 seconds. We're black and black people don't tip. So she wasn't gonna waste her time. Now somebody like that, nothing you could do to change their mind.
So, how much did you leave?
You expect me to pay for that kind of service? What? What the fuck is you laughing at, man?
Yeah. All my real ATL niggas. That's right. It's the dope boy album. Come on. Hey, I say we getting out of money, and the cars and clothes. That's all my niggas. How we crash out, blowing truck on 24. That's how all my niggas roll. We get out of money, and the cars and clothes. That's all my niggas know. Blowing truck on 24. That's how all my niggas roll. In a drunk top Chevy with the roof wide open. My partner's looking at me to see if my eyes open. Cause I've been drinking and I've been smoking and flying down 285, but I'm focused. 454 SS, I race potions. White leather seats as fresh as alpha. I say I'm doing about 100, but the track still bumping. Number 8 on NWA, straight out of Compton. Pull up in your apartment, sitting on 20-somethings, and the dope boys holler what's had. The kid running in, the clique start dabbing, and the broad start choosing. And the cars been parked, but the rims to keep moving. Sign pictures, buy onion, the good, and throw the deuces. I ain't Hollywood, I come from the hood, I'm used to it. If your rear view shaking and your seats vibrating, 24-inch J's got the Chevrolet skate making money, and the cars and clothes. That's all my niggas know. Blowing trouble on 24. That's how my niggas roll.
Shit is ill, but through my will, my flow still will spill. Toxic slick to shock shit like electrocute. When I execute acutely over the rhythm on those that pollute, extra dosages is what I gotta give them. Hey, welcome to the Black Guy Who Tips podcast with your host Rod and
Karen.
And we're back for another feedback episode to respond to all our listeners that, you know, basically drop us a dime throughout the week, you know, call, give us voicemails, things like that. And we want to show love by, you know, responding back to it. So, you know, don't forget the unofficial sport of the podcast is
Bullet Ball.
And Bullet Ball Extreme. And don't forget the official weapon of the podcast is
the Taser.
And you can call the show. The voicemail line is 704-557-0186. You can email the show at theblackguywhotips at gmail.com. And don't forget, you can leave comments on our episodes. Just go to theblackguywhotips.com and you can actually go to our blog and leave comments there. Or you can go to Podomatic. You can go to Facebook. And you can go to iTunes. And each one of those places, you just search for The Black Guy Who Tips. It'll bring up our podcast. And you can leave your own feedback. So, you know, we really do appreciate everybody that responds. So, let's get right into some voicemails, alright?
Cool.
Alright, cool. Let's see here. Monday. Who called us on Monday?
I don't know.
Yo, what's up, Rod and Karen? This is Dark Hater from the Haterazzi radio show. Just want to let you know that I listen to your show on a regular. I do gotta throw a couple of rocks at Rod for making those Michael Jackson jokes a few episodes ago, but you know I can let that pass. I wanted to call and comment on a call that you got on your last show, where the gentleman called in talking about some fight that happened at a high school where somebody got their jaw broke, you know, by the school police. Then he goes on to ask, do we need police in the schools? Yes, we do need police in the schools. But the bottom line is these kids are animals today. They need more. They need military in the schools as far as I'm concerned. If you listen to my show, you know I don't care too much for kids. Any person over the age of 15 is not considered a kid anyway. And that's all I got to say about it. Let's put some military up in there. The kids get to acting up. Let's break some more jaws. Because you know who didn't get their jaw broke that day at school? The kids who wasn't acting up. All I gotta say, shut the fuck up. I hate you all. Peace.
Alright, well, that is the Dark Hater, host of one of our favorite podcasts, the Haterazzi radio show. And, man, we do appreciate you right, calling in, and
We do.
it's funny because I knew when I said that joke, because man, I'm just freestyling these jokes. This is all live. I don't edit anything out. So when I said that, I was like, oh man, these Michael Jackson jokes are not gonna go over well.
Not with the crowd at all.
Yeah, I don't even think Michael Jackson did that shit. So it was one of those like, oops.
Sorry about that, guys.
But shit, if it's funny, nothing's wrong if it's funny. That's the motto of the podcast. So yeah, as far as those kids, we talked about some kids, and this guy called and said, dude, police need to be at school to protect the kids from each other, to protect. Yeah, the police need to be in the schools, and probably to protect your kid from those other kids, you know?
That's right.
Because there's some badass kids out there, man. Everybody ain't got good raising at home.
No, they don't. And on top of that, man, if they didn't have police officers in school, man, if I was a kid, I wouldn't take my ass to school because I'd be scared I'd get stabbed or shot or something. I mean, come on, you can't even read a book without somebody trying to attack you. Come on.
Yeah, has anybody ever dropped out for fear?
I said that again.
I can do the math, but I'm just quitting because I don't want to get shot.
I bet you statistically they are a handful of people. Maybe not a high percentage. It was like, you know what? I just can't make it there. I can't take the stress of algebra 2 and this nigga with the gun.
Alright, so we got us another voicemail. Let's go ahead and play that.
Well, hey, Rod and Karen, it's Clove and Shirley at Tonella.com.
What's up?
I just wanted to, I was listening to 66, show 66, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that. The Kim Kardashian thing, where she's suing them, or she's telling them to not use her likeness for the for that blow-up doll.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that she...
Wait a minute. Clove, this is about to start.
And I didn't even smoke any. So I think that she is in cahoots with this company, and all she has to say is, I'm not associated with that, but it still gives that product some press for it.
Which is really clever. I mean, she had a sex tape, right? So it's not far-fetched.
Yeah.
That she pretend that she has no clue about this thing going on and not, don't use my likeness. Meanwhile, they're paying her under the bus or under the table.
Meanwhile, she's going to make some pretty good bank off of this sex product, especially now that she's brought it out.
Yeah. Like, what would be the point? Usually, if there's cases like this, most people or celebrities don't really express that much, like, oh, don't use my likeness, or we're gonna, I don't know if she's...
Yeah, you don't hear about that shit.
You don't hear about that shit. Usually you hear very minute information, and that it's their PR people saying that they can't talk about it, it's all being handled in the courts right now. What's the point for her to say, hey, don't use my likeness? It's very eerie. It's eerie. It's suspicious.
Anyways, that's our 2 cents. Love your show. Keep it up. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye, y'all.
Alright, man. So that was to another podcast, another one of our favorite podcasts, Shownila.com.
They are hilarious, guys. The last 2 people that called, man, please check out both of their podcasts. They are great.
Yeah, and I did think that a little bit too when I talked about her, because she has no shame. I think we all know this. So it was one of those things where it's like, I didn't want to just come out and say, well, yeah, she's definitely in on this. But the more I thought about it, and we got a couple of responses that actually said this week, like, hey, we think she's in on it too, where I'm like, yeah, probably.
It would make sense. And on top of that, when she was talking about under the table and under the bus, yeah, they probably did the bus, because the bus you can hide your cash a little bit better than you can underneath the table.
Yeah, and the thing is, this is the new way of introducing things to the media. Like, whenever there's a sex tape, and a celebrity always has to come out, and I don't want it to come out. Meanwhile, like Kendra, back room negotiating a deal, to get you're shopping your tape around, but you're acting in public like, no, I would never do that. Like, okay, what's your talent? Why are you famous? Oh, it's because you do a bunch of crazy shit that people wouldn't normally do.
That's true.
So, yeah, but I agree, guys. That's actually a great point.
Thank you for the call, guys.
Alright, next voicemail.
What's up? This is People's Critic from Twitter.
just calling in. I sent Rod, added Rod on Twitter, as they would say, after the last show, when they were talking about the co-worker who was acting up and, sending those snitch emails. And I was, I had a co-worker do the same thing. But what's even worse is this same co-worker, she had asked for like 2 months off work at one point. And, the supervisor was like, look, we can't give you 2 months. Because staffing issues. So she took 2 months anyway. For like a whole month, she didn't come into work. She didn't call in. It's definitely something I never thought was even in my scope of being able to do as a black man. But she does this anyway. So to combat getting in trouble when she comes back to work, she shows up for work after 2 months in full Muslim garb, like head wrap. From the head to the toe, man, all she was just eyes, and I didn't even recognize her. And so she pulled that stunt so that she wouldn't get fired because, religious, some religious issues. She said they wouldn't fire her because of that. So she was, she's been pulling them kind of stunts the whole time. And just recently, I was on vacation. Everybody knows I was on vacation. I come back to work to the slew of emails. It's like, where is this cat at? And I was like, from her. She sits literally like 5 feet from me. I'm like, you didn't know I was on vacation? You had to email everybody in the building to tell them, wondering where I was at? She does this kind of stuff all the time, man. So I definitely feel your pain. I hate working with her. If I could punch one person at work, just one good time in the face, man, it would be her. But I know I can't. So I think about it a lot, but I know it's not going to get done. Anyway, I love the show. I think it's fantastic. I enjoy listening. I appreciate y'all's insight. And, I look forward to hearing some more good stuff from y'all soon.
All right, well, thanks, People's Critic, for calling in. Here's the thing. Like, everyone has these people at their jobs, and we all complain about them, we all hate them, and it's very hard to get them back because they have no fucking shame. The fact that she would leave for 2 months and come back in Muslim garb shows you right there she has no shame. When we had a lady at my old job who went on disability routinely, like every couple, like she'd work for 3 months, disability for like 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, and the thing is, she would go, which is shameless, because when you're on disability, you only get 60% of your salary. So it's not like she's getting a full check, living the life. She's just that fucking lazy. She'll sit at home and, keep the lights on dim and cut the cable off so she can just not have to come to work and get a check. And it's fucking ridiculous and it's embarrassing. And this lady, man, at our old job, man, Will knows what I'm talking about, man. She was like morbidly obese and like really just like lazy as fuck. And she was like the kind of person that they got so big that they start talking fat, where you're like, I'm not gonna be able to do that for you. And you're just like, oh man, dog, what, like, and I'm fat. I'm not even saying that that's what the problem was. The problem is, don't be lazy at your fucking job, man. Don't be just putting the minimum in life, you know what I'm saying? And don't be an asshole at work, man. Why are you trying to constantly see the hustle angle in something? Just come to work and do your fucking job and go home, that's my thing.
Yeah, because my thing is that most, and the thing about work and what people miss is the fact that most people spend more time with their coworkers than they do with their own children, their own husbands, their own wives. So you spend a huge percentage of time with these people. And just like a husband and wife, after a while, they will do things that annoy you and that irritate you. But you just have to learn how to deal with them until they get themselves fired or until somebody gets tired of them and fires them.
Yeah, and you can't get in a battle with these people
because they'll go places that you're not willing to go. Like whatever your low is, they'll go lower.
Right, yeah, like you think, okay, I'm gonna tag her boss in to the next. She's like, well, I'm gonna tag everybody in on the next email, and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and it's like, okay, you win just because you have no shame. Alright, so let's do the next voicemail, but thank you for that one.
Thank you.
Let's see here.
Hey, Ron and Karen. This is Maine and Prime. I was calling. Actually, I didn't even intend on calling you all this week. I was just going to leave a review on Automatic, but something just traumatic happened to me on Twitter today. I just had to share. my story. I know that you all have mentioned about ear rape at work. Well, I was irate on Twitter today. I was just minding my own business, going through the timeline of some of the people I follow, and they follow me back. And all of a sudden, I guess some chick had retweeted something about what another guy had said, and there's a picture of this dude's dick in my timeline. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I didn't sign up for this shit. I mean, I tweeted about it. I'm like, you know, this is gone way too far. I understand if I had went to some porno actress Twitter page and this is what I got in return, I'm willing to live and learn. That's my mistake. But this is not what I signed up for. And I just let it be known that if some shit like this happens again, I'm just going to have to unfollow you. I can't be brought into this type of thing. I mean, you know, Bishop Eddie Long would probably have appreciated that, but I don't appreciate that. I mean, sweet Jesus, that just had me just all fucked up for just too long. So I was wondering, since so many people follow you, Rod, so many people also follow you too, Karen, and y'all follow them back. I mean, have you ever had that to happen to where, you know, that there was a dick in somebody's TwitCon pic or some female body part, you know, bare breast, you know, vagina or whatever? Because I just don't understand it. I have followed people who would later on, after I initially signed up, would put up things like that. You know, there are some women who like to do that, but I didn't go into a situation like, oh, I'm going to look at her ass or her titties every time I go on the timeline. And so, you know, when I know it's there now, I make a conscious effort not to, you know, retweet that into my timeline, because I know that will offend other people. But just let me know, has that happened to you? Because I'm all messed up. I done got just Rapeless Burger in the eye today, and I just need some help. But love the show. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Alright, well, thank you for calling in, Magnum Prime. And yeah, dude, I've had that happen before. The thing that kills me is the whole, like, the dudes that do that shit. Like, chicks do stuff like that, and that's not for me. You know, they retweet, like, they typically warn you, like, oh my god, look at this or something, and I just don't click on that shit. The worst is when athletes have pictures of gay shit, or just, you know, suspect stuff, or even like pictures that the dude meant to send to a woman, and men retweet it and men pass it around like, hey man, you see Greg Otis' dick, man, this is funny. No, it's not funny, and I don't want to see it. Keep that shit to yourself, man. This is ridiculous. I'm anti-meat peeping. But yeah, that's funny, dude. We've all been irate before, and you know, you click on something thinking it's something else, or you know, somebody just posts a pic and it says laughing my ass off. You're like, I wonder what's so funny. And it's like, oh, wait a minute,
that's not funny.
Brett Favre naked in Crocs, you know. Eddie Long with Under Armour on. I don't think I want to see these.
No, thank you.
Alright, so we got a last voicemail. Let's go here.
Hey guys, what's up? Tax calling in. I just wanted to talk about a few things real quick, see what y'all thought. I read an article that said the AIDS infection rate in Africa was on a sharp decline, and I guess that's a good thing. But when I think it's on the decline is because they're running out of people to infect with AIDS. So I mean, that's probably why it's on the decline. And I saw another article that said Betty White, she vows to retire when she is no longer needed. But I think, like, at her age, her only retirement is death. Like, when you're, like, 100 years old, like, you can't retire after you get that work and just die. And you guys, you brought up Kim Kardashian when you did a little VMAs or review or something. But, I mean, you didn't call her a fashion icon, and that really got me. If you just refer to her true title as a fashion icon, will be good on that part. And finally, I wanted ended up with the Bad Girls Club. Pretty good episode, but Two things. Kaylee. Oh my God. She has no balls whatsoever. I mean, throwing clothes around, like, Antoine Dotson, like, he destroys the house just waking up, going to the bathroom, you know? Ridiculous. Another thing about Kaylee, like, now that we got rid of the oil spill, I think we need to worry about the next thing plaguing our ocean, and that is Kaylee's panties floating around somewhere. We have to get on that disaster as soon as possible. But also, I mean, one of the biggest things in the episodes of the season was Antoine and Leah's relationship as far as being friends is pretty much over. And I mean, it was one of the bright parts of the season, seeing how those two interact with each other. So what I did for Antoine was I wrote a plea to Leah on why they need to be friends again. So here it goes. Leah, you need to forgive Antoine. You guys had so many great memories together. Like, remember the time when you got drunk and Antoine tried to rape you? And then the other time you were dancing and she tried to rape you. What about the time you had a threesome in the shower with the other girls and she watched you while thinking about raping you? So Leah, before you think about moving on, just reflect on the time you and Antoine spent together and all the wonderful rape attempts by Antoine and allow her back in your life. Sincerely, Ty Diamond. And other than that, that's it. Oh, yeah, Eddie Long. He's been raping boys, and I don't have anything really to say about that. I guess that he thought Iron Woods had a record with his mistresses, so he said, you know what, now we can't beat that, but I can top that with dudes. So, yeah, I never liked him anyway, and he's definitely getting his now, but not how he wants it. In the boots, Eddie. Alright, peace, guys. Yeah, next week.
Oh, that was an excellent voicemail, Ty Diamond. Yeah, man, that Eddie Long dude, he's getting it in. It's your whole voicemail, man. Everybody getting raped up in here. You know what I'm saying? They raping everybody up in here. Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your husband, hide them little boys from Eddie Long. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. I really can't add much to that. I mean, I do think Kaylee's draws did absorb the oil spill, because remember, this was filmed a long time ago, the Bad Girls Club, and the oil spill was going on when they threw those panties into the Gulf, and then all of a sudden, remember, the oil disappeared. Nobody knew where all the oil went. I think it was absorbed into them draws. I think she had some type of oil eating bacteria in her thong that, you know, maybe she secretes or something like that. So I think that's what happened.
That's not good.
Anyway, thanks to everybody that gave us a voicemail.
Thank you.
We appreciate you calling in.
We do.
Let's do some emails real quick.
Cool.
I think we only had a couple this week. Let's see here. Hey Rod, I feel you about Zimmerman being gay. This is from Ruben W.
Okay.
I thought for the longest this dude was gay, but I keep hearing him say stuff about his wife and kids, and he does seem to enjoy all kinds of penis a little too much. Is he from Atlanta? I don't know, man. I don't know if he goes to Eddie Long's church or not, but dude is mad feminine acting at best. You know what I'm saying? He's just...
Yeah.
I mean,
not show though, but
yeah, this is my show and whatever, but come on, dog. You love tasting penis. It's really not that hard to transition for you to make mentally to the live penis, I'm sure. Another one called Chaka, right, Sam? Love the podcast. Oh, I think it's Chaka. It could be Shaka. I don't know. Love the podcast. I remember getting information about your podcast through Keith and the Girl.
Cool.
Started to listen to all your past episodes on iTunes right now. Listening to episode 42. That's awesome, just because I don't remember promoting us too much on Keith and the Girl. I think I just made like one random post. I probably should be doing better about promoting the podcast, but like that's just not my style to really put it in your face. I'm more like I'll interact, bring it up on Twitter or something or whatever, but I don't want to just be on people's websites like, go to my podcast, check it out, you know?
Yeah, because that annoys people. And is Chaka the one over in Japan that went back and got all those episodes? Remember you was on Podomatic looking at the downloads?
I don't know. Somebody
That's
in
a code
Japan,
name.
somebody in Japan did get 29 other episodes,
Yeah,
which I think is the most we have available. So apparently they were feeling the podcast. And I always appreciate that. And I meant to mention this at the beginning of the show. I'll bring it up at the end. But we're reducing the bit rate from to half the size. So hopefully that speeds up downloading, cuts back on our bandwidth, and allows people to download faster and to hold more episodes on their on their iPods or MP3 players. So I do appreciate that. We got some comments on Podomatic.
All right.
And there's quite a few of them because I forgot to read these earlier. I always publish them and then forget to go back. So these are from different episodes. I'm not gonna say each episode, but we'll just kind of get into the comment. By the way, the meanest cops in Canada are from Montreal, Quebec. Thank you so much for the shout out. Can't wait till we record the show together. I'm curious to know your version of Canada news down south. That's from Cho-Nilla, or I don't know if that's from Cho or Nilla, Shirley or Clove, I don't know. But we talk about cops a lot on this show, and we talk about all our Canadian news is just bad news.
Yeah, we really got to talk to you guys, because we hear that in some areas the cops are like extra nice. You know, we hear y'all drawing kids on the ground so people will stop. I mean, I guess we're not getting the right news from up there.
Yeah, I'm sure their stereotypes of us are pretty bad.
Yeah,
too.
they're like, all y'all do is drink sweet tea and beat on the niggas.
Yeah. So I mean, but it's just funny that like that's the news that makes it to here. It's like,
that's true.
The Canadians, they're getting drunk and shooting people again.
Yeah, they're just north and it's cold. That's about all I know, y'all. I'm sorry.
I want to call that section of the show, "Oh Canada."
Yeah.
All right. Then from episode 59, we had a couple comments. 5 years ago, the men to women ratio in Atlanta was 1-6. Now it's 1-12.
Good God.
And that was when we talked about, a lot of guys in Atlanta feeling like they're players.
Yes.
Dudes with no game come back. Oh man, I got 7 bitches. Like, okay.
Yeah. Do you think Canada is trying to take the place of Arizona on that list?
Oh, I hope not, because Arizona was racist and bad. It take everybody a long time to catch up to them motherfuckers. Sorry, Robin Key. Sony PlayStation employees from Foster City, California, chilling at work, kicking motherfuckers out the PS3. LOL at y'all good ass topics. So somebody from PlayStation actually fucks with our podcast. How crazy is that? Oakland, California in the house, Bay Area, keep doing a good job. Oh yeah, we the Sony PlayStation folks in Foster City. Shout out to Foster City. Send me a PS3, just holla at me. Can you imagine if a fucking PS3 showed up on the porch?
And we will tag you and be your friend on PlayStation 3. I promise you. And if we can find out how to download it on the PS3, that shit will be on PS3 online.
That's ridiculous.
We don't mind broadcasting.
I wouldn't mind having that job though, kicking people off of PlayStation and like Xbox and stuff, because I hate some of those people, man. Like the people that cheat in Call of Duty. I would love to be like, oh, you just running up the score, huh? Peace. Oh, I'm a bitch, huh? I'm a nigger? Oh, okay then. All right, well, how about you play in 2013? Holla if you hear me. Oakland, California in the house, Bay Area, keep doing your job.
Wow. And you know what? And I know this might sound stupid, y'all, but I'm amazed at how people listen to us in places I've either never heard of or never seen, or I just only seen them on the map.
Well, Oakland, California, that's where Anthony used to play.
That is right.
So, let's see. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. That must be something I said. I can't.
It probably is.
Russell Stringer Bell is Idrissa Acuna Idris Elba. He is British, plays American in movies. He grew up in Canning Town, East London. Yeah, I know that. I just couldn't remember his name, but I did know all that about him. It's always funny when people are like, "Yo, man, I don't like that dude. He be in them other movies with a British accent." It's like, dude, that's his real accent.
And you know what? That took me forever to understand. I know that might sound stupid, because the only thing I ever seen him in was The Wire. So when he started doing interviews, like calling into these shows, I was like, who is this nigga? They was like, yeah, this is Stringer Bell. I was like, he don't sound nothing like that on the team. I was confused. Nah, no, I'm sorry, y'all.
Somebody said Don Cheadle is the man. Oh, it's close. Don Cheadle is the man. I think the movie you're talking about with the Dirty Cops is Brooklyn Finest, and that is correct.
Cool.
That was what I was talking about. I couldn't remember the name at the time. Alright, so we also got some comments on the message board. Let's get into those real quick.
Okay.
Episode 67, the latest one, my birthday podcast. We just had a couple people that, chimed in. Corner Boy wrote a nice, or Brandon from, his name's Brandon from, Where's My 40 Acres is the name of the podcast. He wrote in about the, Bad Girls Club. I can't read everything about it, but it's hilarious. And thank you for writing in. And somebody said, We Beast Mode is the name of the user. And he says, sounds good so far. I'm liking this new phase of radio. Dudes like you and Corner Boy are taking shit into your own hands and doing something good with it. Props to y'all. And I said, thanks fam. That's truly the vision. And then Corner Boy chimed in, the hell it is. My ignorance makes me blind as hell. I'm just doing this because I like hearing my own voice. Speak for yourself, nigga. We don't agree on everything. I'm trying to get the Triple H says, I'm trying to get the NAACP to change the Negro National Anthem from Lift Every Voice and Sing to the Electric Slide. Let's make it official, folks.
I agree, because I like the Electric Slide.
I'm in on that. That brings the races together.
Yes.
And somebody asked me, did I ever get up with Mike and his crew? Not yet. Still got to do that. Working on that. I got his number, though. Let's see here. Then episode 66, How the Republicans Party.
Man, we get on with Mike and the guys. We might mess around and run out of bandwidth for real.
We'll see. Let's see here. We had a couple people that wanted to know about where we got that story from. For the Republicans that had the slaves at their party.
Oh, it's South Carolina.
Yeah, that was South Carolina. And I sent them a link and stuff. And somebody, Corner Boy, said he was listening to the Justin versus Will show, and he said he met Eric, the guy from the Real World.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, the one who was trying to fight Ryan that one time but didn't do anything. And me and Justin talked about would he have done something or not, and Justin said he was a cornball and he wouldn't do anything, and I said, well, nah, he probably would have, but there were, it would have been 3-on-1. Maybe he didn't want to get beat up. Well, Corner Boy met him and says, hey, dude's a cornball, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have fought that dude. He's soft, and he's just showing out for the camera. And I was like, I don't really feel like he's a tough guy. I just thought he had his limit, and I was like, hey, even cornballs got to fight once in a while, right?
Yeah.
And he basically said, that's true, but I mean, you got that person that's pretty much a pushover or a lame, and then one day they get all buck and shit, like they throw hands on the regular, and you can't do shit but laugh. That's what Eric looked like to me, only because I had just seen him and how he acted at the concert a week before. Man. And he has a blog, he said, it's called theynotthis.blogspot. And he said, go to his blog and he'll talk about the time when you met him. Here's all I'm saying with that. I get you, but remember who he's bucking up on. Another cornball. He's not bucking up on somebody like, I'm scared to fight this dude. He's bucking up on a dude that also is a bitch. So I don't think it's far-fetched to think he would have tried to fight him if it wasn't 3-on-1.
That's true.
I mean, you walk a couple miles to find a car that somebody don't give a fuck about and just left out there for you. Anyway, Mastermind wrote in and said, damn man, I feel you about your job. Working is great because you aren't wasting your time doing nothing, but you get paid. You feel some satisfaction contributing to society, but the point about my job and me are in a relationship that neither of us want to be in is deep. And that is... That's what I said, basically. Woo. And PL25884 wrote in and he said, yo, your black co-host, he's talking about Chris from the Insanity Report, sounded like a white dude straight up. Dude was funny though. LOL. Alright. I don't think I ever thought Chris sounded like a white dude, even when I first started listening to him, but that's why black people grow up to be Republican, because of shit like this, man. And Triple H also said he was listening to the podcast that Anthony was on, and when I introduced him to Bullet Ball, he was hoping that Anthony would say, man, that's a good idea. Let's call him up so I can help him out with get his dream off the ground. Man, I would not let my cousin waste that money like that.
No, sir.
Like, let's put millions of dollars into a bad idea. That'll fix it. Alright, so we had some Facebook interaction to get to. I put a post out there yesterday that said Marvel is better than DC, and it's not even close. And we got a bunch of interactions, so I'm gonna start doing stuff like that more.
Folks are faithful to that stuff.
Yeah, I gotta start doing stuff like that. And I mean, I only meant in the comic book sense, but in the movies, it's all DC over Marvel all day, baby. Let's see. I also had my birthday. A lot of people sent birthday shout outs all over the net, all over Twitter. Thank you, everybody. Karen got me flowers and candy, so I felt like a little bitch, so I appreciate that. See you wears the pants around here.
Yes, it's love over here. It really is love. And I tricked him, though, because he had went out to have a good time. And y'all know me. For those of you who laugh at me about sleeping a lot, hell yeah, I sleep a lot. But I work hard as hell. My husband knows. I get up at 4 a.m. to go to work in the morning sometimes. So my ass is sleep by 6. I gotta be like the kids, because you gotta get up early in the morning. Yeah, and
Ruben W. wrote me and said, irregardless is not a made-up word. I'm not really saying, I shouldn't have said it was made up. That's my bad. I'm just saying it's pointless. You could say regardless. You're just trying to sound smart. Anyway, on Twitter, I had an interaction this week with Jason Idiot. He changed his name to like Jack Off Jason or something. And he was like, hey, the Resident Evil movies are good. You don't know what you're talking about. And I said, look, they're not good, but I like them.
Yeah, we do. We've
that's
seen
good
every
enough for
single
me.
one of them in the movies.
So it's like, what was you expecting? Citizen Kane? And I was like, no, I think it's not a good movie, but I enjoy it. Everything I enjoy isn't fucking great.
We like some crappy stuff, but we enjoy it with all our hearts.
Yeah, so I'm just chilling or whatever, and then he's like, you're an idiot. Now, I don't know if people follow me on Twitter, but I don't get into name calling people on Twitter for fun. I just don't do it. If you read my tweets, I make a lot of jokes, but you don't ever see me go at somebody like that where I'm just like, you're fucking stupid or whatever. So he called me an idiot, and I just was like, alright, man, you can chill with the insults on my birthday. And he's like, nah, man, I'm just saying I admire your podcast and everything, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. What that has to do with you calling me an idiot? Like, stop trying to back up and play the nice guy role. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's had the problem with this because I called him sensitive a couple weeks ago. And I meant it. Like, it wasn't a joke. He hit me up on Twitter like, man, fuck you, man. You don't be talking to me no more. And I was like, why are you so damn sensitive? You can hit me up too. It's not a one-way street on Twitter, and there's 800 people on my timeline. I don't have time to single each one out like, well, did I give Jason enough attention this week? So
it's kind of hard to do that. Like, I know when I first started and didn't have that many people, I could interact more. But as time went on, it's harder to interact with people. And talk to people. I don't talk to them as much anymore because you got more people scrolling through your timeline.
Yeah, and then it's like, I cut my phone on and there's 300 updates. I'm not reading every last one of those updates. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't have a special Jason section of my updates. Sometimes I see funny shit, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I see shit I want to respond to, sometimes I don't.
And it don't mean we forgot about you. It's like the people with 20 kids. You can't give everybody undivided attention. That's impossible.
Well, I mean, if you're rich, you can. But what I'm saying is, I don't get how he's like, so you're the one being sensitive now. And I'm like, first of all, I've never called you an idiot. I never called you out your name. So you got upset because I wasn't hitting you up enough on Twitter. Okay? I'm saying don't call me fucking names and expect me to be like, oh no, it's okay, he's a fan of the show. I don't need that shit. I would rather lose a fan than have to deal with somebody harassing me because they think, oh, I'm a fan of the show, I'm gonna hold that over your head. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Have some fucking decency, man. I could see if I was on there calling you bitch, hoe, damn, asshole, fuck ass shit all the time. I'm not doing that shit, man. So it's like, and there was no real humor in that to me because it was just like, okay, I don't agree with you, let me insult you. And that's one of the big things that I'm against. If I don't agree with you, I'm not trying to just fucking come at you and insult you and shit like that. That's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? We can move on if we have a disagreement, but if you start name calling and dropping shit below the belt, then all of a sudden when it comes back at you, I'm the sensitive one, right? Come on, dude. Don't play those games, man. Keep it real. Keep it 100, man. I don't like the type of people that want to insult you and then call you sensitive. And I was like, why? Are you going to be happy when I block you? Is that the only thing that's going to make you feel better is getting blocked. And I don't know why on the internet you have these habitual line steppers that flirt with getting blocked. You see it on message boards, you see it on Twitter.
They put all kinds of crap out there, man.
Stephon Marbury made like one post on Twitter, and all of a sudden dumbass niggas start coming out of nowhere like, yo man, fuck you son with that tattoo on your head, you dumb motherfucker, and stuff like that. Like, then when he blocked them, they like, yo, Marbury can't take it. What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Wow.
What the fuck is wrong with you as a human being? Like, that's like if I say, hey man, you probably shouldn't carry a gun in the police station. Yo man, fuck that son. I'm gonna carry my gun right up to the door and see what happened. I'm not gonna go in. Hey, I'm not in. I'm not breaking the law. Like, okay, then when you get shot, I guess we supposed to all feel sad for you. So yeah, man, don't fuck with me like that, or you gonna get blocked. And I'm not saying that on some like, I'm gonna block you, I'm gonna show you a lesson. I'm saying that on some like, I don't feel like being annoyed. If we want to have a good conversation, we can do that. Even when we disagree, we can do that. But if you're gonna hit me up with some, hey man, let me just come fuck with Rod today, prepare your ass to get blocked. I don't have time for the shit, dog.
Yeah, because Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff, it's just entertaining to me. I don't know. And Rod is kind of different because he interacts a lot more than me. I don't take it seriously. It is entertainment to me, and it is the internet. I don't take it that seriously.
And what's funny is he says like, well, I'm a fan of your show. Well, why aren't the other fans having the same issue with me that you are? Think about that. Thousands of people listen to this shit. One person has a problem with me on Twitter. Come on, dog. It's so obvious, man. Don't be a line stepper. Also, I'd like to shout out to Nisha, Greg, and Maddie, who all contributed donations to the podcast.
Thank you.
Whether it's for my birthday, whether it's just, because maybe something we said was cool or whatever. Thank you very much, man. It definitely helps pay for this shit. And hopefully with us reducing the bandwidth, maybe we can even go back down a level and, stop paying so much every month. But just thank you guys so much, man. It really means a lot to us. And I think that might be it for the show. I think I've covered everything. You got anything else you want to add? Alright, man. Well, cool. Oh, and then we have one more thing. Somebody sent me an email. I can't remember who it was. And they asked me, what other podcasts do I listen to that aren't sports related? I listen to the Haterazzi radio show.
Yes.
It's Haterazzi. Just put that in the iTunes and it will come up. It's a great show. The editing is fantastic.
Yes, it is.
It's almost like a variety show. It's almost like a person doing the Late Show but with cursing and black people. It's hilarious. I love it. The Player Hater Show, which is about relationships. We've been on there a few times. Just another awesome show. Awesome editing. Awesome production.
Quality.
You trust me, if you like this show, you'll love it. And it's normally shorter than ours, so if you're feeling like, hey, I don't always have a lot of time, 30-40 minutes, this guy, just great conversation. It will make you want to respond. It will make you want to write into him because it's so good. Of course, Keith and the Girl, which is, in my opinion, the best podcast out there for comedy.
Oh yeah.
Just a couple that lives in New York that actually broke up and still do the show together, which I can't believe I could do that. So props to them, and of course they still are funny, and they have the best guests. They're awesome in every way of the word. Yeah Right Radio is a podcast which is also on Blog Talk Radio. Just search for Yeah Right Radio, and they have an icon there where you can actually go on iTunes and download it into your a podcast. And that's by Larian and Liam Belly on Twitter, and it's a hip-hop podcast, so they talk a lot about new upcoming music, and that's why I learned a lot about new artists and shit, even though I don't listen to most of the music they play because, fuck them niggas. Of course, there's also the Insanity Report, the Insanity Check Podcast, is the name of the podcast, the Insanity Check Podcast, and that's the one with Chris. We were on there last Wednesday, when we did our podcasting marathon, and of course that's a political podcast, but he also does some shit that we do. It gets into tomfoolery and fucking around and talking shit, and has his friends over there. They get drunk and talk about all kinds of issues, and I love the show. Some of my friends weren't able to really get into the show, especially my older white friends, because they all conservative and shit, and I think they just don't like how Chris goes hard on conservatives sometimes. But I think with me being kind of unbiased about the politics of the left and the right, it doesn't bother me that much, because I feel like if it's funny, and if it's a good point, it's a good point. And when I disagree, I just move on to the next thing. But they couldn't handle it. The Mark Maron podcast is it's called What the Fuck with Mark Maron. Just put in WTF. And Mark,
yeah, I've heard that one before. He's actually really funny.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. Very
some
poignant
deep stuff sometimes.
Yeah, very deep. He talks about depression a lot, anger. He talks about just his life as a recovering drug addict, and he's just a great podcaster, a great comedian.
Cho Nilla.
I'm getting to them.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry, y'all.
Obviously, Cho Nilla.
I wasn't paying attention to the list. I'm sorry.
Obviously, Cho Nilla, which is a great podcast by an interracial couple in Canada. I love their podcast, man. It feels a lot like ours to me. Except they have kids and they're a little more tired because of it. But I love their podcast, man.
And changing poo.
Yeah, and it's cool getting different perspectives on just different things that happen, man. And I think they have very well thought out opinions, and they're very open and honest. And I still had to side with Clove about make sure that y'all review movies right away. Fuck people that wait to see movies. What are they gonna do? What are you gonna do? Wait till it come out on DVD? That's ridiculous. Slash Filmcast, another podcast about movies if you're a movie buff like me. If you really want to get the inside dirt on movies, you want to hear people's opinions and discussions generated by movies, that's a great place to go. I like it. Even when I disagree with the guys and I think they're way off, I still can kind of see where they're coming from, and I appreciate the conversation, because as a movie buff, man, I find it increasingly hard to talk to people about movies, because there's just not people that love movies the way I love movies, and they don't really want to go in depth and talk about it the way I want to talk about it, and they don't really know the history and stuff. So it's more like I just feel like a dick that's giving somebody a lecture on movies, and I feel like an asshole. The last show, Who Are Those Guys? That's the Pimp podcast that we're gonna reach out to and try to get some of them on as guests. And I can't say that I agree with everything these dudes talk about, but they are pretty funny. And it's almost like watching the episode of Maury, where you can't turn away, but you don't really agree with everything that's happening.
That's true. Yeah, we've been getting on top of that for so Yo's been reading my timeline. Murray messing my mind up so bad I can't spell his name right. I spell it all kinds of ways, but these folks knew what I was talking about.
Alright, so that's it for this episode. Thank you guys. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Rodimus Prime.
I'm Say Dat Again, Dat, SNDAT.
Go to the website, theblackguywhotips.com. Go to the Facebook, Podomatic, and iTunes, and search for The Black Guy Who Tips. Leave us comments. Call the show 704-557-0186, or email the show theblackguywhotips@gmail.com. Thank you so much, guys, and we will talk to you guys next time. We love you.
I love you too, baby.
Mwah.
You're such a flirt, I know you hurt.